No one. That's weird. Oh no.
Everyone loved the surprise arrival of the newest member of the Healer family at the end of the surprise episode. But the big question remains, who is the father of Bluey's pup? Could it be McKenzie, Jean-Luc, or a third dog we haven't met yet? Find out everything about it right now. Healer Pup. From the beginning of the surprise episode, it was clear that the theme would revolve around having children. In fact, Bingo plays a game involving having 4 imaginary pups. At the same time, Bluey asks her mom if she might have pups in the future. Interestingly, many believe that the pup shown at the end might actually belong to Bingo, not Bluey, since the younger Healer was already at Bandit and Chili's house when the older sister arrived. This suggests the little pup might have already been playing with Grandpa when their mom arrived for another round of hide and seek. But the fact that the little pup is using basically the same toy as Bluey did in the past is confirmation enough that indeed, that little puppy is a descendant of the series' protagonist. Which doesn't mean Bingo won't have puppies too. We just don't know if there will be 4 like she imagined in her playtime. Moreover, the fact that the little grandson appears at the door after Bluey had already come and gone with Chili probably indicates that the mother coordinated everything with her son to surprise Grandpa, which is so typical of the blue pup. Bandit really deserves an award for being the subject of the girls' play so many times, even after growing old. Poor Chili's husband. Now that it's confirmed that the puppy is indeed Bluey's, the question everyone wants to know arises. Who is the father? And let's talk about the first option that most fans really want to be true. But first, let me ask you, what gender do you think Bluey's puppy is? If you think it's a boy, comment #boy below. But if it's another girl for the series, comment #girl. Let's see who wins this time. McKenzie. Since the first season of the show, we can notice there's a very close relationship between Bluey and McKenzie, which only grew stronger over the seasons. Proof of this is that the first time we see the little border collie in the entire series, he's sleeping in the episode Fruit Bat and doesn't say a single word. But we notice Bluey looking into the room and, of course, at McKenzie. Moreover, she literally dreamt about the little pup. And that surely doesn't happen with just anyone. After all, if it was only friendship, she could have dreamt about Winton or Snickers, right? Furthermore, we see many times that McKenzie is the only boy playing with the girls, as we can see in the Spy Game episode. Or we can notice that he's very close to Bluey's family, as he joins them during the Creek episode, where Bandit takes everyone to meet the little river, and McKenzie ends up pulling his friend's hand to go to the secret spot.
Come on, Bluey. The creek is beautiful. Maybe I should come on.
And at the end of the episode, we can see them once again playing tug of war. All of this happens in the first season. In the second season, we have another strong indication that the future of these two characters seems to be intertwined. In the Barky Boats episode, besides Winton saying the two will get married in the future, we see them forming an even greater friendship when they feel abandoned by their older friends, who seem to want to date each other. And when Calypso explains how life is, especially after 12 years old, many thought she was referring to Captain and Mia, Bluey and McKenzie's two friends. But in fact, the allegory probably depicts the future of the two characters. They probably will end up together, which becomes clear by the embrace Bluey gives McKenzie at the end, showing that deep down, they like each other, even if they tease each other from time to time.
See you, McKenzie. See you, Bluey. Bye.
Another strong indication that the two friends might have a future romance together also happens in Bingo's birthday episode. In it, all of Bingo and Bluey's friends are present, but we see that the two, the Blue Pup and McKenzie, are only playing with each other, which really shows that they have a special relationship, we could say. Speaking now of Bluey's pup's appearance, we can say it closely resembles the young version of the Border Collie we know from the Space episode, where he overcomes his fear of abandonment. But despite all these strong indications, the show's creator has not yet confirmed whether McKenzie is indeed Bluey's husband and the father of her pup, which leaves us room to imagine that this role could indeed be filled by another character that appears in the series, Jean-Luc. Certainly the camping episode is one of the most beautiful in all of Bluey. In it, we meet the little purple Labrador Jean-Luc, who even without understanding Bluey's language, since he only speaks French, becomes her friend immediately. And the two have good moments of fun and joy together, but their farewell is really very sad, since the Blue Pup doesn't understand that the next day, the little purple Labrador puppy won't be able to play with her anymore. Despite all this, we see that in the future, Jean-Luc ends up meeting the Blue Pup again, possibly a little older. And now, apparently, he already knows how to speak Bluey's language. Maybe, when this reunion happens, the protagonist will already be 12 years old, which is exactly the age Calypso explains that life starts to take a very different path. The fact is, when they exchange glances, they both seem very happy, as we can notice. Moreover, we can observe that the little blue pup was deeply affected by the unexpected departure, at least unexpected for her, of her friend. This suggests that perhaps she felt something more for him, even without being able to explain exactly what it was. So, Chili's explanation that some people we like come and go from our lives is so important in this story. What nobody anticipated is that Bluey wouldn't easily forget Jean-Luc, as several episodes later we can see drawings made by her where the purple Labrador is present. This means that indeed the memory of this friend, and perhaps future love, lingered vividly in her memories. In addition to all that we've mentioned, the fact that the little pup of the grown-up Bluey has light and yet purple colors in her fur could be an indication that Jean-Luc is her father. Also, one of her ears is droopy, as Labradors have larger ears that are always drooping. And the truth is, all of this is possibilities, including a third chance where we have another option of who could be Bluey's pup's father. But before we dive into the third possibility of our protagonist's husband, if you're not subscribed to our channel yet, click right now on the button down below and join our group of animated series and animation movie fans! New character. Besides McKenzie and Jean-Luc, there's a possibility of having another character who could be the father of our protagonist's pups. We know both candidates we've listed so far have pros and cons, as we'll explain now. You might have never thought about it, but in fact, both the Border Collie who studies with Bluey and the Labrador she met during the camp aren't from Australia. That's because McKenzie and his family are from New Zealand, a neighboring country, as we can notice in the episode Who Decides, when their parents go to the healer's house to tease them because the selections of both countries would face each other in a rugby match. Which means that the little Border Collie grows, there's a chance he might return to his home country with his parents, or perhaps have an opportunity to study at a university in New Zealand, which surely wouldn't be impossible. Likewise, we can infer from the sauce that Jean-Luc's parents use in their dinner that they are from Canada, which is even further away from Australia, where one of the official languages is exactly the French language he speaks during the episode. Actually, we can't say for sure if the family of the little purple Labrador, despite being Canadian, lives in Australia, or if they were just on vacation in the country. In any case, due to having roots elsewhere, the same thing said about McKenzie can apply to Jean-Luc, because there's a chance that as he grows up, he ends up returning to his home country. In both cases, it would be quite difficult for Bluey to maintain a long-distance relationship that could result in marriage and the birth of the pup. So, there's a chance that, in fact, the father of the healer grandpup is a character we haven't met yet, whom the little blue pup would meet at some point in the future. And since we saw Bluey graduate from university at the end of the surprise episode, she could very well have met this person while studying. Although not liking this possibility much, we can't rule it out, because when it comes to real life, childhood loves don't always materialize and become reality, mainly because of distance. And this might be the case for Bluey, but only the future will confirm which of these three possibilities is real, and who really is the father of the little pup who loves to chase elderly dogs. But what about you? Who do you think would be the ideal candidate to be the husband of our protagonist in the series? As new mini-episodes will be arriving in 2024, maybe one of them will bring a moment set in the future and answer what we all want to know. While we wait, our suggestion is for you to keep watching the great videos we have here on our channel, like these two that are popping up for you now. Just click on the one you want to see first. Thanks, and see you next time!